Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor and welcome back to more Fishing with Crendor. Today I am joined yet again by the one and only, the old man himself, Sips.
Wait, old? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, hi everybody, how's it going?
Hey. So this is episode 30 and I believe you're my first repeat guest.
I was just gonna ask, that's crazy. What an honor. Wow. First repeat fisherman.
So this is a crazy thing, okay? So you were on episode 14
right
last time, and when I fished with you, it was August 9th.
No.
It was August
Holy
9th.
Crap.
2 years
What was that?
ago.
2 years ago. Yeah, that sounds about right.
We're fishing on the exact same date we fished 2 years ago.
Man, that's crazy. It's like maybe it's like a thing when the moon and the stars align on this specific day every year. That's when we both feel like fishing.
Maybe. I mean, how like it's August 9th for you, but it's August 8th for me. So maybe.
Well, no, actually, technically, it's not August 9th yet. It's still an hour to go, so.
Oh yeah,
it is August 8th for me. Yeah.
All right, so maybe it hasn't aligned yet. Maybe we're doing it too early.
No shit.
Maybe something cool would happen if we waited.
Well, maybe it's a leap year though. Is it a leap year?
Oh yeah. I don't know. Let me check. Is it a leap year? Is it a leap year?
It's got to be a leap year.
It's got to be.
You could set your watches by us, our timing. Like.
It is not. It is not a leap year. 2020 is the next leap.
2020. Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
Well.
It's a long time to wait for a leap year. What the hell?
Yeah.
Well.
So if nobody knows who you are, why don't you tell everyone who you are?
Well, hey, I'm it's your boy Sips here. You can check me out on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, and also, you know, I played a lot of WoW in my time. Not recently, but I basically all my internet dealings now are off the back of meeting friends in WoW, playing a lot of WoW, and now none of us play WoW anymore. But you know, it's an old game, so you know, not everybody sticks around. Like, I played Legion for like a month. It's not bad.
Yeah.
You know,
it's pretty good.
I played Draenor for like a month as well. So like every 2 years I play WoW pretty hardcore for like a month. It's pretty
Whenever
good.
a new expansion hits.
Yeah. So I guess, are we due to have an announcement for a new expansion this year? If there is another one? Yeah, there's got to be. Well, so it'll be at BlizzCon, right?
I would definitely say it's going to happen at BlizzCon. Because, I mean, last year they did it at Gamescom. But I think now that BlizzCon is, like, only a few months away and we haven't heard any announcements, I think they'll just wait till BlizzCon.
Yeah. But, like, I guess they want to save up all the good, like, announcements for BlizzCon, right? Like,
yeah. So, I mean, it's their own
Gamescom's coming up in, what, like 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks.
What, 2 weeks or so? And I don't know. There hasn't really been any like rumors of anything big being announced there. Yeah. I don't know of anything. Not that I have any insider information anyway, but you know, like normally leading up to this stuff, you do kind of hear like whispers and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I mean, or even just like, hey, I hear there's gonna be a new WoW expansion leaked, or like there's gonna be some demon thing going. Like,
yeah.
Know that.
They usually trademark a name, and everybody assumes it's gonna be something, and then it's not. But then, you know, they trademark a bunch of names just to like cover themselves in case they want to change their mind, I guess, or something.
Or just confuse people.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. So
well, I guess they also do it. They also do it for like card games and stuff, or like other things like Hearthstone.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's at least I guess Hearthstone's got an expansion coming up soon, right? Like
Thursday,
like in a couple of days. Yeah. God, jeez.
I really enjoy Hearthstone too, but I don't play it to be good at it. I play it to do dumb things.
Right, okay. That's probably the best way to enjoy it. I think if you try to win at that game, it's like soul destroying and probably like become a twisted, wretched husk of a man who is incapable of feeling. And I don't know. I got pretty salty playing Hearthstone actually, but I tried to win. I made the mistake of trying to actually win.
That's your first mistake.
Yeah, so there you go.
So yeah, last time we fished together, I think we just did what we're doing right now and just
Right.
ranted for an hour.
Okay.
And then I never got to ask you about your World of Warcraft history.
Right. Okay.
So let's start out by asking, how did you get into video games in general? Like you're a young Sips running around.
Okay. I mean, I'm a really young man at this point. Okay. The first,
Right.
so like I grew up I was born in 1980, Crendor. Okay.
Oh man.
So I was like like a preteen in the 80s, like end of the 80s, going into the 90s and stuff. So I grew up playing a lot of consoles, like the original NES. I was a Nintendo guy, so we had original NES. We got a Super Nintendo when they came out. We got a Nintendo 64 when those came out. We played all those, but somewhere in between, and I think it was probably around like 89, 90, I guess. My friend's dad was like a big PC gamer guy, okay? Like he used to work at a grocery store, and then he'd get home from work and he would just play like these old war games and stuff. But my friend liked to like watch him play these war games, and then he read all these like PC magazines, like I can't even remember what they had back then. It was like he used to like get this computer gaming magazine that he subscribed to. You get it every month, and back then big games were like Monkey Island, like the LucasArts point and click adventures. X-Wing came out, like the flight sim X-Wing one. Wing Commander, and then those Sierra adventure games as well. So he used to get these games on and off throughout the year, like for his birthday or Christmas. He'd ask for like Monkey Island or Day of the Tentacle or whatever. And that's basically how I got into PC gaming in the first place. Like we'd go to my friend's house, we'd play the shit out of these games. We were like 10 years old. We played like all these adventure games and stuff. They were really fun, and we played like Wing Commander, we like the first Civilization, we played that a bit and stuff as well, which was pretty fun. And then from there, I got a PC and got into like Doom, and I used to play like Doom and Quake and Duke Nukem 3D and stuff like on Direct Connect modems with my friends and stuff. And then I was into StarCraft when it first came out. I used to play Warcraft 2 a lot, Warcraft 3 when it came out, obviously, and and then basically leading all the way up until 2004, I guess, when WoW came out. And then I played WoW. I was looking forward to it. I was like really a big fan of Warcraft at the time. I was looking forward to like playing an MMO, because the only MMO I'd heard about at the time was EverQuest, but I was too scared to play it because I heard that people like spent their lives on there and got married on it and stuff. And I was like, oh shit, no, I don't want to play a game like that. Then of course WoW came out and I played the shit out of it forever.
What were you doing at the time?
I was working. I was like, when WoW came out, I was like 24. So I had like a full-time job as a web developer. It's pretty nice. Like had an apartment with my wife. We were married at the time. So tomorrow, Crendor, is my wedding anniversary. We've been married for 14 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a long ass time,
years.
isn't it? Yeah. I know. We still talk to each other as well. Can you believe it?
That is, I can't believe that.
That's nuts, isn't it? So yeah, so we've been married a long time. Anyway, so that's what I was doing at the time. I was just working, playing WoW in my spare time. We didn't have kids or anything back then, so it was like
so
I had
she
a lot
didn't
of
care
free
that
time.
you were on the computer all the time. Just like, we don't have kids to take care of.
No, God, no. We were just like we did stuff, but like in the evenings, like after work and stuff, she would just be like watching, soaps and stuff on TV or whatever. And then I huddled away in the corner doing fucking 5-man dungeons and stuff, working my way up to raiding and everything. I was in a really big guild when we first started out called Ye Olde Goon Squad, which is like if you've ever like been on the Something Awful forums, that's where we all met. Like our whole guild was through the somethingawful.com forums. So we were all forum members. So we were called Ye Olde Goon Squad. And I used to play Paladin back in vanilla, an Alliance Paladin. We were an Alliance guild on...
You could only play Paladin on the Alliance.
That's it, yeah, back then, yeah, that's right. You could, yeah, they changed it a lot after vanilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were pretty big. We were like server first to kill like Ragnaros and Molten Core. I think we were server first to get Nefarian as well, and fucking what I can't even remember the name of the raid now. Blackwing Lair, was it?
Blackwing Lair was
Blackwing Lair.
Nefarian.
And we did like AQ40 as well. I think we killed Cthulhu like once, but it was really hard in vanilla. It's like really hard to do.
Did you do Nax?
What? So
like
did we what?
vanilla Nax?
Oh yes. No, we didn't do Nax actually.
Oh.
Nax came out shortly. When did Nax come out? It was too fucking
right
hard.
After AQ40.
All right, yeah. No, I think we tried it, but I think everybody's really burnt out from AQ40, and nobody was up for doing Nax, and it was too fucking hard, and so we didn't do Nax. So maybe we weren't as good of a guild as I thought we were, because I know some people did Nax, but it was not us. Not that I know of, anyway. But yeah, no, it was good times, man. We spent a lot of weekends raiding. I remember like. Holy shit, Molten Core used to take so long, like the trash pulls and everything, and we would just be hours and hours. We used to use Ventrilo as a guild.
Yep.
And we'd just be on Vent, like listening to episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air while we're like raiding Molten Core, and oh my god, it just went on and on and on forever. But
well, like everybody had their own little class cliques going on too, because you had so many people in the raid of 40 people. That's
right.
So
yeah,
like,
we had like
the paladin chat over here.
Yeah, we had like separate healing channels to coordinate healing, which was like, man, we tried so hard to be organized and coordinate, but like it never worked. Like it was just people were just trolling in those channels all the time, and like it was good fun. We made it work. It's just more like brute forcing everything rather than actually having good strategies and coordination and stuff, but it was fun times. Like I made so many friends like that I still talk to today. Like that's like WoW is sort of that thing, isn't it? It's the ultimate like community builder thing, isn't it? It got all these people who are in big guilds that are still in touch with all their old guild mates and play other games with them now and stuff. Like I work with half of the guys that I used to raid with, because we're all like YouTube guys now and stuff, so it's like it's nice, man. I got lots of fond memories of WoW. Just played so much WoW. Jesus Christ, maybe too much WoW actually.
Let's say even BlizzCon. I think half the reason people go to BlizzCon isn't for the stuff that Blizzard announces. It's just to meet people and see people that they've played WoW.
See people.
Or
yeah,
whatever
that's
game
it.
At this point.
Yeah. Are you going this year?
I am. I go every year. I love me
we're
some
not going
BlizzCon.
this year. This is the first year for a while that we're not going. Just because Terps is he's having his second baby. Well, his wife is gonna give birth to their second baby, but like, you know, he can't be away while this is happening, so he's not going. And then everybody else is like, yeah, we'll just take a break this year. We won't go, sort of thing.
What losers?
Like, I know. We're just like we're incapable of doing anything ourselves. We have to have Terps there, so I don't know. We might go next year instead. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's BlizzCon's great fun too. Like you said, you just get to go there, meet up with people that you know you don't really see that often, and can hang out with them a bit and stuff. And there's the opening ceremony is always like pretty exciting. Like some of the panels and stuff are good, but mainly it's just an excuse to hang out with a bunch of people that you don't really get much of a chance to hang out with, and meet up with people that you've played a lot of WoW with in the past.
Yeah. And you go to Disneyland.
And yeah, and then you always end up going to Disneyland as well. Yeah, because it's really close by.
It's like a double trip.
It's like a double whammy of fun. It's like just got Blizzard stuff and then Disneyland for like a day. You can't go to Disneyland more than like for a day. It's too much. It's because the music. They fucking always everywhere you go, there's that music. Like, you know, you're in Adventureland and it's like that Davy Crockett music. You're just like, come on, give it a rest. I don't want to hear this anymore.
Yeah, it's that type of music.
The minute, when you're in Disneyland, the minute you start showing signs of not having fun, people just emerge from like underground tunnels and pull you under and evacuate you from the park so that you don't ruin it for everybody else. So you gotta be really careful. Disneyland.
Yeah, they're watching you everywhere you go in there.
Man, they got a reputation to uphold. It's meant to be
kind of like
happiest place on earth. So.
Remember that one Nickelodeon show, the Legends of the Hidden Temple? Or
No.
is that after your time?
Yes, I think that's after my time.
Well, they used to like do this obstacle or this like thing where you'd run through an obstacle course, and if you messed up part of it, these people would come out of the walls and grab you, and you'd be done. And I remember being a kid because I was like, "Where'd they go? Are they dead?" Like it was just like I don't know where they went. But I'm like, oh, they're back alive now, I guess. Like at the end of it, that's what I like to imagine. Like they just pop out of the walls. Goofy just grabs you, and he's like, "Whoa,
Well, time to slay you, kids."
we need new workers in the kitchen." It's
These
like,
soccer balls aren't gonna sew themselves. Oh fuck! It's always goofy, eh?
and they, you can't sue them. It's Disney.
No,
they have
that's
more money
true.
than anyone.
Man, they're bulletproof. They cannot be sued. Like I don't even think they take anything to court. I think they just sort of like they get like some idea of like a settlement, and they're like, it's not too high. Let's just settle. They just settle all the time, which you could probably take advantage of. Say like,
and I mean, then their son who got captured now works at Disneyland, and it's like, where did he go? It's like, well, he lives there now, but he gets us discounts when we want to go. So I mean, that's part of the bonus of getting captured there.
Good, yeah. You go on the Peter Pan ride as much as you want. It's like,
yeah.
A ride that was devised in like the 1950s, and it's by modern standards, just literally a moving piece of garbage. But I mean, you can go on that for free, so why not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I took my son on the Peter Pan ride, and he was like 3 at the time. And he was like, "Oh, Peter Pan!" And we're like, "Yeah, okay, let's go on the Peter Pan ride. It's gonna be great." So we lined up, and it was like really hot. We lined up for like 2 hours to go on the Peter Pan ride. We went on it, and we got off. It's like, "What do you think?" He's like, it wasn't that great. Because like right before that, we went on like this really brand new Cars ride that went really fast and stuff, and he loved that.
I went on that.
Yeah, no, that was great. I mean, that was really good.
And then there's that part of it where you like meet up with the other car of people next to you and like stare them down, and then it's like, and you race them.
Yeah. But like next time you go to Disneyland, go on that, and then immediately after go on Peter Pan, and let me know how you feel. Like,
all right, I'll make sure to do that then this year.
Yeah, neither of us were in a good place after that. It was pretty unfortunate, but it's the way it goes sometimes at Disney. You know,
really
they say
like
it's the happiest place on earth, but sometimes it's not that happy. Like,
Yeah.
It's an exaggeration, big time.
It's all facade.
That's it. Smoke and mirrors.
What was your favorite ride there then?
Man, I think when I was younger, I think my favorite ride was the Hollywood Tower of Terror, Twilight Terror, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You know the one. But I tried to go on it like as an older man, and wow, it really did not agree with me at all. Like I felt pretty sick actually.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't like those types of rides where you go really fast or it's like drops you or anything like that. Because I already have a sensitive stomach. I'm already old for my age.
Yeah.
So I like the slower, more adventurous rides like Indiana Jones. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a really nice one actually. I like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
What about the Thunder Mountain? I can just about handle Thunder Mountain. That one's not too bad.
Thunder. Oh yeah, I went on Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, it's like the roller coaster, but it's not like
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain, I can't. Like that would make me barf everywhere. I think it's too much. I went on Space Mountain. I was forced to go on Space Mountain during like the Halloween sort of event thing. Wow, man, I don't remember much of it. Like, I think I blacked out a bit, but like, it was. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go on that again. It was too much. Like, I don't know. Some people like are really like good with rides like that. You know, they can go on the super fast rides. They love
the
sick.
adrenaline.
Yeah, not me, man.
I don't either.
I need the slow rides.
Same. Same. Love slow rides.
It's a small world. That's a slow one. That's one I can
do. Small world's a good one.
It's a family favorite too. Everybody loves It's a Small World.
Yeah.
Even though it's pretty obnoxious, it's pretty nice too.
Yeah. I mean, like even just roller coasters in general. Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of adrenaline thing. Like, people like, I gotta go skydiving in my life. I gotta bungee jump, and I'm like, I would never want to do that. I don't find it fun.
No. No, you always hear those horror stories of like the cord breaking, and you know, like all Billy wanted to do his whole life was do a bungee and be able to post pictures of it on his Facebook when he was done and tell his whole family about it and stuff. And it's like, but sadly, the cord snapped. Billy's dead.
He died doing what he loved.
Yeah, but even then, you don't want to die doing what you love. Like, you want to fucking go do a bungee and live to tell the tale. It's like, you know, skydiving as well. You don't want to die. You want to come back and say, "Hey, Mom, guess what I did? I fucking did a skydive." Like,
that's the whole point of the activity. Is like you're gonna. It's a dare type activity. You're like, "Oh man, I'm daring death to take me." But sometimes, it does, and I'm like, I'm not into that.
No, me neither. Like, I get the street cred portion of it, but like, man, not like, you should not die when you're doing those things, and that's why I would not do them. Having said that, though, recently, for some reason, I've wanted to like take, you know, like you know, you can get like go to an airfield and fly like one of those like little tiny planes. Like, it's not lessons, but like they just take you up and you can fly around a bit and you can like try to find your house and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, I would like to do that, or go in a helicopter. But even those are like fucking death traps, aren't they? Like, they crash sometimes. Like, I don't want to be in that crash. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't. Have you ever seen what's it called, Idiot Abroad, or Carl Pilkington?
Yeah.
I feel like I relate to him the most, because he has the same mentality of me, of just, he hates those types of things, and yet they like force him to do them. Like, when he travels the world. That's how I feel about traveling. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, I traveled abroad and I saw this shit," and I'm like, I would just go there and be like him, "This is okay, I guess. Like, I just want to go home now."
Yeah, I know. It's like you always miss like your home comforts, right? Like, when I go abroad, it's not overly acceptable for me to just walk around in my underpants, but at home, that's fine. Like, nobody seems to really mind. So I don't know. There's a lot to be said for like staying home over going abroad. It's fun sometimes, but man.
Yeah, like I've seen, you know, I've been to LA, I've been to Texas, I've been to Boston, I saw London, right?
Wow.
Like, I've seen, and every time everyone's like, "How was it?" And I'm like, "It's okay." And they always laugh like I'm joking or something. And like, haha, and I'm like, I'm not joking. Like, it's okay. Like,
I don't know. Like, I guess some people expect that, like, if you plan that much and spend that much money, it's really got to blow you away. But like, I don't know. Most places are like pretty samey, right? Like, cultures are like a little bit different and stuff. Maybe some of the architecture is a bit different, but like, man.
I guess that's the best part, is just seeing people, like, it is the culture, and like seeing the people act differently than what you're used to, I guess.
Yeah. I guess, like, I mean, if you're in the same place all the time, I don't know, maybe you do have to broaden your horizons, like, somewhat, but
I didn't even broaden my horizons. I just got funny stories to tell from it. Like,
Yeah.
when we went to London for CoxCon last year, we were walking around waiting for our hotel, and then I walked by these construction workers, and I couldn't understand them to save my life. As we walked past, and he's like, "Oh, boy, give him the old chip off, and give him the old chip off." And
Were they like Cockneys? Wait, were you in London or were you in Telford at the time?
No, we were in London.
Okay.
And so I still to this day don't know what they said, and I don't know what kind of accent it was, but it was something I've never heard in my life, and I didn't understand.
Yeah, no, hey, look, I just got an achievement. Grandmaster Fisherman. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, England's weird because there's so many regional accents, right? Like, you know, London has its own accent, and then in Manchester they have their own accent, and in Liverpool they have their own accent. And then if you go to Bristol, they have an accent as well. And then if you go to like Cornwall, there's an accent for that too. And then there's one for like people who live in, I don't know, like Hull and stuff. And then, you know, further north you go, there's Scotland, who have like different, like, sort of regional Scottish accents and stuff. And then Ireland as well have the same, you know, like Northern Ireland accents are a bit different to, like, say if you're from Cork or like Donegal or something like that. So it's like, how many accents do you need? You know, like, I'm from Canada. There's only like two. There's like the French
Yeah.
Canadian one, and then there's like just the English Canadian one.
Yeah, there's
That's
the
it.
like, oh, hey there, eh? It's from Canada, and they say sorry here a lot, eh?
I mean, I'm not. My accent's not really like that. Is that how
Yeah,
you see
yours
me,
is-
Crendor?
Yours is a bit more generalized. Like, it slips in every now and then,
Yeah,
but
yeah. A couple of A's here and then, but like,
yeah.
it's
And
not
kind of
too
dry, like, oh, like it's just
But
the
I guess
O's.
America's kind of the same though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Like
got,
the
like-
East is East with Boston and New York, like Boston, New York, man. And then
yeah. Well, like, so the Boston accent is different to the New York accent,
yeah,
though, right?
it is.
And then you get like, so what's like a typical like Floridian accent? I guess they don't really have one, right? It's
Florida's
just, like-
more just southern in general. Like they have their hick hillbilly people like going down here, down here,
Oh,
Florida,
yeah.
man. You got a gator in the backyard. I done
Oh
shot
yeah, I
that
guess
thing.
so. Yeah. Yeah, and then like in like Louisiana and stuff, they've got like
Yeah, the
and, like,
Cajun.
Yeah, and
That's
then,
more like, oh, I'll say.
I like how you have this arsenal.
Cooking up the gumbo. Yeah.
Oh my god, I feel
'Cause
like
I mean-
I'm there. Yeah.
The southern accent, it's kind of similar, but it's a lot like England, where it's similar but not similar at the same time. Or like Texas is
Yeah.
like down here, Texas. Like they have more of a twang
Yeah.
to their like dang. If you listen to King of the Hill, that'll teach you all about that.
Bobby. That.
Bobby. God damn, Bobby.
Oh my god, that's perfect. That sounds so much like him.
And then if you go to the West Coast, you have a combination of just like, what up, man? 'Cause they're all just
Oh yeah,
surfer
like the
weed.
California surfer accent.
Or the Valley girls are just like, oh my god, yeah.
Oh
You
my
have the-
god.
I can't hashtag believe it.
No, but that accent has like crept into everywhere
Yeah,
now, though.
it
It's
has.
like most people say like use those kind of accents for certain words, right? Like oh my
Yeah.
god is the perfect example. Like, you know,
Oh
it doesn't
my
matter where
God.
you're from. Everybody says oh my god pretty much the same way, and you sound pretty much like a
Well,
valley girl.
There are the New Jersey's a bit, because they're like, oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess
Big
so. Yeah,
god.
it's a little bit different. Oh my god. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know.
So it is weird. And then if you go up north to like Wisconsin, Minnesota, they have like a combination of Canadian with some, because they're like, don't you know, up here in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
they're-
like the oh yeah, like the Fargo accents, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, up here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I watched that Making a Murder documentary.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with Stephen Avery. Man, their accents were crazy. Like some of the things that they said, like just their little sort of like isms and terms and stuff were really funny too. You know, like I don't know. It's like it almost sounds like a community of like farmers or something. You know,
Yeah.
like it just sounds like a little bit backwards sometimes. But I guess if you're from there and you live
Well,
there day to day, it probably doesn't seem strange.
There is
at
a
all.
lot of farmland there.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
that would explain it somewhat.
Man, I think they're making another series on Making a Murderer, but I think it's gonna do like a different story of somebody else who's like wrongfully accused. Because apparently this is a thing that happens quite often, like
Yeah.
more often than people expect or whatever. But
Well,
I
that's
guess
like,
that's gonna be interesting.
There's some movie that was somewhat like that. Jesse told me to watch it, and then I watched it, and I was like, shit, dude, this is a crazy movie. But I don't remember the name of it, so I don't even know
Yeah.
why I'm talking about it.
Oh man, imagine spending a lot of hard time in prison for something you didn't do though. Like that would suck.
Yeah, that's-
balls.
That would suck balls.
Jesus.
That's almost.
But I
as bad
guess
as
you'd
getting
get
captured at
acclimatized to the
Disneyland.
prison, and you know, if you became like the boss or whatever.
You just
I'm not even
embrace it.
supposed to be in here. Now I run the damn place. It's crazy.
That sounds like it could be a Netflix show.
Yeah, maybe they can like hire me on to write and devise that one.
Yeah.
Do a good job of it. It could be like a rival to Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
No.
Be
Got a
black
bunch
is the
of
new
guys.
orange.
Found a bunch of guys wrongfully accused. They're all in there, and they take control of the prison. Nice.
Wow, what are we talking about?
Man, I don't know. We were meant to be talking about WoW. Do I need to have some WoW stories for the fishing show? Like,
yeah, we should probably have some WoW stories this time. But what was I feel like there's something else I was gonna say. Let's say talk. Is it England? England and accents. There's something else. Oh yeah, all I wanted to say was like traveling to England just made me feel like it's just like where I'm from, but they just talk different and some of the things look different. And like I guess the money's like it's, you know.
Do you do that thing? I think everybody does this to some degree, where you go to another country and you see, like, you go to like a store to buy something, and you're amazed when you see something that is sold like in your country as well. Like you're like, well, they do Snickers bars here. Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they probably would do, but like it's always like some revelation that you can find something that you can find at home, like,
I know,
you know,
what it is.
8,000 miles away or whatever.
Like in England, they have like Lay's chips, right? Like Lay's potato chips, but over there they call them crisps, and they're not Lay's, they're called Walkers.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
like
the
the same
same
company but different branding. But the
Yeah.
branding is kind of similar at the same time, isn't it?
They just have the different name, but the bag pretty much looks the same, and they just have different terminology. And it's like, this is funny because it's like what I know, but it's not the same exactly.
Oh, man, you know what I used to like when I used to live in Canada? I used to work at a grocery store, and sometimes I'd have to like stock up like the potato chip section.
Yeah.
And there's like the brand of potato chips, you know, the Humpty Dumpty brand of potato
No.
chips. Okay, maybe it's a Canadian thing. Anyway, they used to do this thing. It was called like a party pack. Okay, so instead of it just being potato chips, it had like, so it was a mix. Okay, so it had like hoops.
Yeah.
It had Doritos. It had like these little like twiglet like pretzel-y things. It had like some potato chips, just normal potato chips. And holy shit, it was so good. I don't know what they put in it. Like, maybe it was just the mix or whatever, but, man, I could eat bags of that stuff. It was so good. But you can't get that over here. I don't know why.
When did you work at a grocery store?
Oh, man, when I was like 15, 16 years old, I guess.
Oh,
It was
wow.
like my first ever job, yeah. So, like, I used to stock the shelves. It was nice.
Oh yeah, that's
It's a really good job.
What other jobs did you have aside from that, leading up to your web thing?
I used to work at Blockbuster. Funnily enough, we were just talking about
yeah.
Blockbuster before we started.
You
I worked at
actually
Blockbuster in Canada, and I also worked at Blockbuster in the UK. And this was back when like Blockbuster was all the rage, right? Like, and it was a cool job to have because I got 10 free rentals a week for working at
God.
Blockbuster.
That's
I
actually
know.
really good.
Yeah, not bad, right? Like games, everything too. So it was like pretty sweet. But the only thing that you couldn't rent for free was like movies that had just like come out. So like if we'd just gotten like 100 copies of like, I don't know, The Matrix or something, you weren't allowed to rent them like on the day because they would just like instantly be all rented out sort of thing by customers. But otherwise, you could just like rent whatever you wanted. So yeah, I managed to watch a lot of movies while I worked there. It was like such a slack job too. Like I think both managers I had, the Canadian one and the UK manager, both got fired for stealing from the safe. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a cultural thing in Blockbuster. Maybe that's why they're bankrupt now. Everybody just stole like from their safes or whatever. But, yeah, so that happened. And the one in the UK was the funniest though, because like we opened the safe one day because we had to like float like the cash register like before the day started. So I opened up the safe to get like the bags of change and stuff, and there was like this stack of papers like with handwriting on them. It's like, what the fuck is this thing? I look on it, it was like IOUs, like she handwritten out like all these IOUs, like I took $40 today, and then like there was one from like 2 weeks before that. Yeah, I took $50 today. Like Jesus. Yeah, so
she's like, it's not stealing because I'm writing these IOUs. And
it was really funny. It was just like such a weird job. But yeah, so I worked there, worked at Blockbuster, and then I worked at a grocery store when I was like, before that I worked at a grocery store, and then I worked at Canadian Tire for a bit. Have you ever been to a Canadian Tire before? It's like it's like a big Home Depot, but it also has like a car mechanics garage. Like
I see.
do it as well. So like you'd go there to buy like winter tires and stuff, and like get like a tune up or a service. But then you could also go in there and buy like a million fucking plastic boxes for your basement and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was a garden center and stuff too. But yeah, I used to just work in the warehouse. So like the truck, like we'd get these huge trucks that come in, and normally when like a truck delivers stuff, like it's usually the goods are like on pallets, and you have like a forklift to go on, you know, pick up the pallet full of stuff, pull it off, just put it in the storeroom. But for some reason at Canadian Tire, they didn't use pallets. So like it was these massive trailers full of loose assorted goods. And holy shit, it would take like a week to unload the truck. Like it was crazy. There was so much stuff, and some of it was heavy. And then some of it would just be like, you know, like sometimes we'd get like boxes of motor oil, and some of them would break and spill. It'd be motor oil. Oh man, it was weird. It was such a weird job. But like, you know, when you're like a teenager, like you just work any job, right? Like I just wanted spending
You're just like,
money.
well, I'm getting money, so I can.
Yeah. So basically, just to like buy booze and drink in a forest, but like kind of worth it, I guess.
All right, we're learning a lot.
we're getting to the bottom of things here. Oh, God.
Like, speaking of which, I still buy booze and go into the forest.
Oh, why not? You know, jeez.
How did you meet your wife then? Does she like work at one of these jobs, or did you meet her at school?
No, I met my wife on the internet like in 1997. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Back
it's like
then,
the prehistoric internet.
that was like Springer material back then. Like,
Yeah.
it was unheard of. But yeah, no, I met her on IRC. Have you ever used IRC before?
Yeah, I've used IRC.
Okay, so that's where we met. Back when IRC was actually used like properly as chat rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I met her then, and then sort of IRC. We stopped using IRC at one point, and we used MSN Messenger a lot.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
a good one. It's had like some nice like emoticons and stuff. So it was like clearly the better product. But yeah, no, it was weird back then because it was just not a commonly done thing. Like people meet on the internet all the fucking time now, I guess. So it's not like it's no big shakes. But yeah, back then it was just kind of weird. So
Well, it's more mainstream now. So everybody like has their phone, everybody's connected in that way, and it's like, oh yeah. Back then, like I remember even being like, I was like 12 or 13, like playing video games online with people, and then I'd be like, I'm playing with these people from Germany, and my mom's like, Are you sure this is safe? No.
Are we gonna have a big phone bill after this one? What's going on?
Then like we'd get a call, and my game would like it'd be in the middle of like an Empire Earth game, and it'd just crash the thing, and I'd be like, oh my god, and like you can't call, people can't call when I'm playing games, like we gotta use the phone.
Oh man, tell me, did you have a similar sort of like youth and stuff? Like, did you have like crappy jobs leading up to you just like doing like YouTube and internet stuff full time, or not?
A little
Did you
bit.
just, like,
Mine was somewhat more. I didn't really have to do that much. Like I was still going to community college. I didn't really work in high school. I just played WoW. Because in 2004, I was a freshman in high school, and so I was like, "Hey, I have nothing to do. I'm gonna play WoW."
Freshman is like we never
First
used
year.
the term. Yeah. Okay. So what's that? Like grade 9?
Yeah.
Is that
grade 9?
Okay. Right. Okay.
So
So you were like what?
no.
13, 14?
I was like 14.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, oh, neat. I have nothing to do. I think I was playing Halo 2 a lot, and then
Nice.
I was like, oh man, what am I gonna do now? My friends are like stopping Halo 2, and then my one friend's like, we're gonna play WoW. It's this new game coming out, and I was like, I don't want to pay monthly for that. And then I paid monthly for that, and it was amazing. And I was like, this is the greatest game ever invented. And so I was just like spent nonstop time playing WoW
Wait,
and not
so
trying.
when
in
you
school.
were, did your mom have to pay for your subscription when you were like
Yeah.
14? Oh, nice. How did
Well-
how did you swing that? Was that like a tough bargain or what?
Well, at first, I just kind of put in the credit card number without telling them. And then they're like, what's this charge on the thing? And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that like this game had some other charge and it must have accidentally did it. And they were like, okay. And I was like, can I keep doing it? I mean, it's like part of it. And they're like, well, if you're having fun with your friends, I guess you can. And then just kept rolling.
Nice.
So that's how I did that. But
I mean, it's a fairly cheap pastime when you think.
Yeah.
Like, was it like $10 a month? It's not that
people,
bad.
well, 15.
I guess, yeah. Sorry, yeah. I'm thinking pounds. Sorry.
Oh yeah, but yeah, really, when you think about it, people are like, oh, $15. But then like you go out to dinner and like, yeah, we'll just tip like, I don't know, 15.
Yeah, but if you're like
Yeah.
14, there's like way more stuff that would be more expensive than that. Like you could
Yeah.
have like karate lessons and like
Yeah.
swimming lessons and tennis lessons and like all that shit would cost way more.
Yeah.
Like the value you get for $15 a month is crazy.
It
Wow,
is some good value. People didn't look
Yeah.
at it like that though.
No.
But yeah, and then I got my first job in freshman year of college, which was like I was like 19. I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Nice.
And I worked there for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then it was bad, and I didn't like it, and I just didn't show up one day.
Nice.
Because I forgot I was on the schedule, and they were like, you were supposed to work, and I'm like, I don't care, and then I just quit.
Well, what are you gonna do? Fire me? Yeah, actually, we are.
Oh, okay. And then I worked at Circuit City for
nice.
Another 2 to 3 weeks because they were closing. I got hired for the holidays, and they're like, oh, by the way, if you still want to work, you can, but we're closing in 3 weeks because we're liquidating and going out of business. And I was like, okay. So I had a lot of stories come out of that. That's when I first started making WoW videos, actually. That was like 2009. And so
You
I
were
had a
all
lot
bummed out about losing your Circuit City job, and you just thought, gonna make some WoW videos?
Well, I wasn't even bummed out about it. I was like, I mean, I don't have to work then, I guess. I can just play more video games. But I was like, oh, let's make some YouTube videos. And then, because there's just, you learn a lot from working retail, even for just, I feel like everybody should be required to work retail for a minimum of 2 weeks, like every citizen.
Man. Yeah, it is. You really do learn a lot about people.
Yeah.
And also people's spending habits as well, because man, they like to spend. Like, holy crap. I remember being blown away, like, at the size of people's, like, grocery shopping carts, just heaving with stuff. I couldn't believe it. It was nuts, like, all the time. And sometimes you'd see them again, like, 2 days later. You're like, what the fuck? Did you eat all that food already? That's insane. Oh, man. It's crazy. But, yeah, no, I had a couple of, like, kind of crappy jobs, but then like when I was doing web development, after that I got like some pretty like decent like computer programming jobs and stuff, like at a bank and then like at a law firm and stuff. Like I was working those like full time leading up to like doing like full-time YouTube stuff. So I think I started doing full-time YouTube stuff in like 2012 maybe. Yeah, it must have been like 2012. So like, yeah, basically from 2004 up until 2012, I had like kind of like serious jobs, which were mostly pretty boring actually. Just like sitting in an office and eating lots of like cake on people's birthdays.
Yeah.
Sometimes people would just bring in cake not on somebody's birthday, so you just eat cake and just like sit around and talk to like people about dumb shit all day. They were okay.
It makes you realize why like so many people get into things like sports a lot.
Yeah.
It's like it's something to talk about at that type of job. Like Johnson sure threw the ball well yesterday, huh?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. That's what like the average like an average office conversation is like that. Like,
yeah.
You know, and if it's not like just your sort of run-of-the-mill sports, it'll be like something like exciting that only happens once a year, like horse racing or like I don't know, fucking Wimbledon or something
fights.
like that.
Oh yeah, like all those things.
Yeah. Fights as well. Like there's always like, oh, did you watch the fight last night? And like, yeah, I watched the fight last night. Everybody like wants to fight next day, and all of your meetings are like turbocharged because everybody's all jacked up from the fight and stuff.
When you think about it, it's a lot like school still, but just grown up school, and you're getting paid for it.
Oh man,
like
it
those
is,
types
and
of
like.
jobs.
and like a lot of the people that you end up working with bring their school baggage with them too.
Yeah.
So like if they had a hard time at school or they were bullied at school and they identify like people that work there as people that might have like given them a hard time at school, they'll be harder on them and stuff as well. Oh, it's really political. Offices are super political. It's crazy.
Pretty much anything people do ends up being political.
Yeah.
It's just people.
Yeah, it's true.
They're just
People
like,
they can't help
so,
themselves.
Thomas, you're going to have double the work today. And he's like, but I didn't do anything. Yeah, you got double the work.
Why me? Yeah, no, but like I don't know. It's good life experience though working these jobs. You know, like you find out more about people and you find out more about yourself. Find out what you're. Hey, I just got another achievement. Look, 1,000 fish, Crendor.
Oh man.
Yeah, read it and weep, baby.
You're just rolling in the fish now.
Man, I've like so many. I haven't played this character since like Draenor, I think. This was my Alliance Garrison character because I wanted to see what the Alliance Garrisons were like. Yeah, so. Which actually they were nicer than the Horde ones. The Horde one was just so depressing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Alliance is a lot better garrison wise. I don't like to talk about garrisons though. That was a sad time.
Yeah, it sounded like it was. I remember when they announced it, being really excited about it, thinking this is kind of cool and stuff. But then, the more like wizard chores you had to do, it was just like, oh, this is
it was a phone game essentially.
Yeah,
but you couldn't do it on your phone.
No, yeah, and then they had the well, no, the companion app didn't even come out until Legion.
Yeah,
and that
it would have
like
been perfect for Draenor.
Yeah, tracking world quests and shit like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, what do you think is next for WoW then? Since we're supposed to be talking about WoW.
Oh yeah, that's right.
WoW. Come on, give me your predictions. What do you think?
All right. So there's been some Crendor stuff that's been getting thrown around. So I think it might be Crendor, South Seas base like pirate ships and stuff, some trolls. I think that's what it might be. That seems like the most logical thing, especially since we've just had so much demons and orc content. I think we might shift it back to some trolls, some pirates.
I wonder. Yeah, that'd be a nice change of pace. Like what? Like I haven't really kept up much with Legion, the story. Like after stopping playing, is Illidan like dead now? Have people killed him? Is he never coming back, or did he turn into a good guy, or like?
I'm not completely sure either. I stopped raiding back a few months ago. I did the latest raid, which was the one before the latest raid, which was pretty cool, like the sky change. Actually, if you look behind us in the sky, you'll see Argus.
Whoa! Wow! Holy crap! Where did that come from? Hang on a second. I have to go on a little investigation here, Crendor. Why? There's that. Okay,
well, so Argus is the next patch.
Okay, so we're gonna go to. So this is where the Draenei come in with their spaceship and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like we're gonna have to go. But wait, hang on a second. It's not meant to be that close, is it? Like, isn't it meant to be like really far away? Why is it so close?
I think it's just some stuff's happened, and magic, time warping, the void.
They floated Dalaran, so yeah, why not just pull a planet closer?
So I think we might have just flown through space-time itself and gotten here, or it's just getting close. Who knows? All right, somebody knows. I don't though. So.
No, me neither. Well, don't ask me because I don't know either. But I mean, I'll be interested. I don't know. Like maybe I don't know if I'd come back for another patch of WoW, but I probably would come back for another expansion. Although I don't know. Maybe would I now after like not coming back for patches of this expansion? Like I feel lost now. I kind of lost track of the story at the end of Pandaria. And even Pandaria was a bit wishy-washy for me as well. I wasn't sure. I guess like I was following the story like fairly well up until like Ice Crown.
I think a lot of people did because that was relating into Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
But that's why I still want to make a Warcraft 4.
Well, you never know. I guess the genre is dead now, though. That's the problem.
Lots of people are saying.
RTS is like a relic from the past. That it's not they can't shift units. They can't make an RTS that's going to be popular again. So
But
it's like,
I think they could. I think they could reinvent the RTS and make it popular if anyone could do it. Let's think about it. All right.
I suppose, yeah.
They can create new Warcraft lore that they can then tie into World of Warcraft. Maybe you go do some new Warcraft stuff, and like they make a new type of Lich King scenario. Like they get a new villain, you play it up, and then you get to the end of it, and you're like, oh shit, maybe we're gonna see this thing in WoW. And then it's like, we are gonna see this thing in WoW, and it's like, whoa.
No. Yeah, that'd
So
be
you could
kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, so
Tie-ins
you could-
and stuff.
Yeah, you could do some tie-ins. Then they could use the engine they use for this RTS to make a MOBA game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. They have a MOBA already. Would they make another MOBA?
They have like Heroes of the Storm, which is like, it's like a
Babby's first MOBA.
Babby's first MOBA essentially. They can make like a MOBA, it's like they can have that and then have this one be like their hardcore MOBA, right? So you have two of them. Then you can have RTS games, so you have an esport right there. Look at that, built-in esport.
Yeah.
They love esports.
They love esports, yeah. I mean, StarCraft was like really the last RTS that like did well though, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Like, and then it slowly slipped off. And I guess it's kind of like the same as MMOs. I guess RTSs and MMOs probably got made obsolete by MOBAs. Although, like, I don't think MMOs are. I'm not saying MMOs are dead. I think RTSs are more or less dead. MMOs probably aren't dead realistically, but MOBAs have become a lot more popular over time, and there's a lot more of them now too. But still, I guess it's just Dota and League that are like the dominant ones.
Yeah, it is.
After all this time, you play a bit of League, right?
I play a lot of League.
Wow. Okay.
I played League when it came out, and so that's kind of been my thing. 'Cause I never played Dota before that, and so when League came out, I was like, "What is this?" And I played it, and I was like, "This is so fun! This type of game is like nothing I've played before." And so then I got hooked on it, and then I just played League because that's what I played first.
So do you still play it now?
Yeah, I still play it now.
Nice.
I take big breaks, and then I come back, and I'm like, "Oh my god, now I'm hooked again." And then I'm like, "Why did I do that?"
I'm like that with Dota. Like I hadn't played Dota for about 2 years. I stopped playing. I used to play it quite a bit, and then I hadn't played for 2 years. But then I was really bored. I'd watched like the latest Game of Thrones, and I was like, oh, I don't have anything to watch. I was like putting my kids to bed. It's like, what am I gonna watch? So I put Twitch on, and like with the international, Dota's just like highest viewed. So it's like, oh shit, yeah, the international. So I flicked it on, and I was watching it. It's like, oh man, I haven't played Dota in like 2 years. Maybe it's so that like recently I've just been playing Dota again, which is great. Like I'm not too salty, but like I will quickly become very salty and have to stop playing again. But I'll enjoy it somewhat until that happens, I guess. But
Yeah.
that's
Really,
kind of like
that's
the
what
ebb and
games are
flow
for.
of a MOBA, isn't it?
Yeah. It's I think the worst part is when you get a bad game and then it's like you have just like 30 to 50 minutes just wasted.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, well, there goes that.
So I guess like the mentality that you have to have about every game is that like what did I do better this game that I didn't do before? What did I learn this time? Because like even if you lose, like, and you have to, the problem is most people don't ever expect to lose, and that's where like people get salty, right? But like obviously you're probably gonna win half your games and lose half of them, and it doesn't always feel that way, but it sort of evens out that way over time, doesn't it? Like most people have about a 50% win rate overall, unless you're really good. I guess it's a little bit higher or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Like if you get like absolutely crushed to have like that. What could I have done better there? When the team absolutely decimated me and I felt my soul just slipping out of my ass.
Or one guy AFK'd and left the game.
yeah. And then my toxic teammates as well weren't really helping either. But still, like,
I guess I could have CS better. All right.
Man.
All right. What are some WoW stories?
Okay, let me do a WoW story and then I'll go to bed, okay? Because it's like it's getting late. Okay, I have a good story about WoW. Okay.
Okay.
So here we are. We're raiding. I might have told you this before. So apologies if you've heard this one before, and anyone listening if they've heard this one before. But it is a nice story. Okay. So here we are. a 40-man raid, okay, and we're in Blackwing Lair, and we're clearing trash, and we're clearing the bosses, and this is like maybe like a week or two after it's been released, so it's new, and nobody's geared for it. The fights are all pretty tough, you know, lots of wipes, lots of progression. Everybody is like, you know, getting annoyed and stuff, and we made it up to so we got past the suppression chamber, you know, that really cancerous part of Blackwing Lair where you have to like disable, you have had rogues to disable those traps that made everybody walk slow.
Oh yeah.
And you're walking through it really slow and constantly pulling packs of respawning trash as well. So we finally make it through this, and everybody's like really happy. And then you sort of get up the ramp, and then you go through that room, right? And there's like a little bit more of it. You have to clear some more trash and stuff, and then you get to like that big arcing doorway, right? And then that's where you fight. The dude comes out. You fight the dude. I can't even remember what his name is now.
Is that Broodlord?
Oh, maybe. He's like a big like Draconid sort of guy.
Yeah, I think that might be Broodlord. Right.
Okay, so you beat him, and he's not too hard, and you sort of like, I remember like the tank having to face him sort of into the doorway, and you know, healers were in a certain spot, like the usual sort of raid stuff, and we killed him, and everybody's like, great, okay, perfect. So then we go into the next room, and it's like all the labs and stuff, right? And then you get through those labs, and then at the top of the ramp there is that dragon. I think it's like, was it Ebonrock or Firemaw? Was it Firemaw?
I think it's one of those.
Anyway, let's just assume it's Firemaw, okay?
All right.
So we pull Firemaw all the way back through because we read a strategy guide, and it's like, bring him back to where like Broodlord guy was down at that doorway, and it's really easy for a tank to stand in this little corner of the doorway, and your healers to like hide around the corner on the wall, so they still have line of sight on the tank, but they're out of line of sight of Firemaw to like, so that you don't get like the debuff that he applies to everybody or whatever. So we're like, okay, cool, we'll do that. So we tried a couple of times, and our main tank is a dwarf, okay, because we're alliance. So the dwarf is in there tanking. He's in the right spot and everything, and you know, everything is going well. You know, we get him down to like 90% or something, and then all of a sudden, like our main tank just takes like a ton of damage. And like, I was on the healing team because I was a paladin, so I was just spamming like down-ranked flash heal, because that's what you did in vanilla, to like conserve your mana and stuff. And everybody else is like trying to heal him up, and we could not heal through like this damage. And then so we're like, what the hell's going on? How come like we can't heal the tank? You know, he's taking so much damage. Like maybe we just need to call it or whatever. And then some of the healers like, no, like I don't have line of sight. Like every once in a while, he just like goes out of line of sight, and I can't get a heal off on him when I need to, sort of thing. And so we're like, oh, hang on a second, it's because he's a dwarf. He's like, he's in this corner, and he's too short, and he's going out of line of sight. So we're like, all right, you're gonna have to move forward a little bit. We'll have to readjust and stuff. So he moved forward a little bit so that we could see him and everything. And it was just like, when he did that, it was like working, but then all of the healers got like the debuff because of the way that we repositioned and stuff. And we're like, oh fuck, how are we gonna do this? Like, we can't. Our main tank's a dwarf. He's the best geared. He's the only guy that can do it. He's the only guy here. Like, we can't actually do this right now because he's a dwarf, and like the line of sight issues or whatever. And then some guy in the raid's like, why doesn't he just eat like a deviant delight or whatever and turn into a pirate? We're like, oh, that's not gonna fucking work. Come on, like it would be hilarious if it did, but it's never gonna work. He's like, well, fuck it, let's just try it. So he eats the fish, turns into a man pirate, okay, and then we kill him, like because he was in line of sight the whole time because his head was like poking up above like the corner thing, and that's the story of the time Yogun Squad beat Firemaw. It was amazing. It was like probably one of the best memories I have of playing WoW with that guild. It was just incredible. I mean, we wiped on this guy like 10, 15 times, and then we did this, and everybody was like, when we killed him, and like leading up to killing him after he turned into a pirate, like people on Vent were like screaming and whooping and like crying with laughter and stuff. Oh man, it was like such a good time. It was so good.
Should have made the Deviant Delight like your just logo at that point.
I know, that was like the savior. But then, what came next though? Like with Chromagus and everything, and then actual like Nefarian himself.
Hmm.
It's pretty tough going, but like it was still we got through it. It was fine. Like it worked out in the end. And there was of course a lot of drama as well. Lots of big bust ups. People
Yeah.
rage quitting the guild because they didn't get their perps and stuff like that. We had DKP and everything too,
Oh,
like
yeah.
separate DKP. We had officers tracking the DKP, and oh man,
I remember.
I don't know.
DKP.
It was like the best of times and the worst of times at the same time. I think.
Yeah. Because I mean, I think a lot of people used DKP back then. So it was just
Yeah.
the easiest way.
It was just the fairest way of distributing loot, right? Like just the
Mhm.
way that it dropped. Now it's all like personal drops, and you can use shards
Yeah.
to roll and stuff like that. But yeah, back then it was like, boss was killed. He dropped like 5 or 6 items, and people just had to store up, Donkey Kong points to get them. So
It's one of those things where, like, it's the system itself is a lot better now, but back
Yeah.
then it's like it's that nostalgic, like it was crazy back then. Yeah.
I got like fond memories of back then, but I don't know if I'd want to play vanilla WoW ever again. Like it
Yeah.
was such a strange game. Like even in its time, it was kind of strange, like just some of
Yeah.
the itemization and stuff like that. But
I think for people that never experienced it, they might really enjoy it. I think that's why a lot of private servers are really popular.
yeah,
But for like someone like us who's already experienced it and done all that, it's like it'd be cool to go back and like maybe play it for a little bit, but I could never like fully play it again like that. It's just
Oh,
I was
the
in high
vanilla-
school. I had like super time on my hands. I'm like, I don't want to do homework. I'll just play this all day. It's
Oh,
just like
man.
this is
Yeah.
great.
I remember just like distinctly the vanilla leveling experience. This is before like the cataclysm changes to like the old vanilla realms or whatever. Man, you didn't have like quest hubs and like breadcrumb trails to quest hubs and stuff like that. Like the quests were everywhere. Remember, like
Yeah.
you'd be like in Sunken Temple if you were unlucky, doing fucking that depressing ass
Oh, yeah.
instance in Sunken Temple that you had to find by going in. Like
It
there
took
wasn't
like 8
a
years to do it.
yeah, there wasn't like a meeting stone and a portal like right at the front. You actually had to like venture into it to find the entrance and stuff, and it was a confusing maze. And there'd just randomly be some stupid ass quest there, like, hey, go collect 10 fish sticks for me or something. It's like, well, okay. Like the leveling experience was so weird, and like sometimes there just wasn't quests, so you had to like actually grind out mobs and stuff. It was
Yeah,
really
you would just
strange.
run out of quests, or even you had the things like the Mancrick's wife quests, which I always remember. It's like go find Mancrick's wife. It's on the road somewhere, and it's like okay. There's like no hints or anything. It's like
Yeah. You
no
just like
sparkly
happen
things.
across her if you're lucky. And, like,
yeah.
yeah. I
So
know.
you had Thoughtbot. That's
Yeah.
like Thoughtbot and Alakazam.
yeah. Those. Yeah, like WoWDB and Thoughtbot and all that just became like so big, just off the back of probably vanilla just being so confusing. They
Yeah.
tightened it up a bit in TBC, and then progressively it just got better and better, I guess.
Now they just data mine shit, and I think that also adds into what helped make vanilla WoW what was so fun. Is they never really data mined anything. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, we know every single thing about the game now. It's just like, what's this thing? I don't know. Maybe it's something. I don't know.
Yeah, they like to data mine like all like the like upcoming mounts and stuff too, like all the speculation of like friend reward mounts and stuff like that. But, nah, it's all good, and it's just like all the little isms of WoW are great, aren't they? Like
Yeah.
even
Like,
just
it's
coming
like-
back and fishing, I feel like I want to play it again now, but like I can't. I don't
Yeah.
have time now. I just can't do it.
That's why it wasn't even just the game that made it good. Is that the time you were playing the game in that also helped make it what it was.
Yeah, for sure. It just came out at like the right time, and everybody was ready to get like really invested into something like that. And it's done really well to last as long as it has. Really, like to think
Yeah.
that they're still probably making an absolute mint off of this game.
Yeah.
Like every goddamn day.
After like 13 years of being out.
Yeah,
still.
yeah, I know it's crazy, but like, I guess Blizzard were concerned at one point that they were just a WoW company, and that's why like in recent years you've seen a lot of branching out into like Hearthstone and like Here's the Storm, Overwatch, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But like before that, it was really just WoW, wasn't it? I didn't really have
or
anything
Warcraft, like RTS
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
And StarCraft.
crazy stuff.
So I mean, what WoW really did was it made MMORPGs more convenient to the casual user, like instead
Yeah.
of EverQuest or like hardcore type things where you're like,
Yeah, I never played EverQuest, but I heard I guess like Jeff Kaplan, who had a lot to do with Vanilla WoW, was a big EverQuest player, wasn't he? Him and Rob Pardo like had a big guild and they raided all the time and they wrote up like guides and they had like big community and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I never tried it. I never got into it. It's just an MMO that, like at the time, I wasn't ready to play MMOs and I never bothered to check it out after that. But I guess that's where really like a lot of WoW came from, right? It was really inspired by EverQuest, and they just took the things that worked in EverQuest and polished them up and made them better, I guess.
And then it took the things that were like, that's kind of dumb, like, and like, hey, we'll make it easier and like more accessible. And
Yeah.
so it just worked out really well.
Yeah, and here we are in 2017, fishing in this world. It's nice, isn't it?
Well, the Jeff Kaplan too. He's on Overwatch now. So
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
knows him as the Overwatch guy.
Yeah. I guess like maybe I wonder if he still like occasionally plays like World of Warcraft, or do you think he's just done now? It's just, like,
I don't know.
full-time.
When I interviewed him last year, because Jesse was supposed to interview him for an Overwatch thing, but he had to go do something, so he's like, "You go do it." And I was like, "Okay."
Nice.
So I went and I asked him at the end of the interview when I didn't care about Overwatch, like, 'cause I already found out everything. I was like, "So what's your favorite like WoW thing you ever designed?" And he was like, "Probably Hemmet Nessingwary."
Nice.
I was like, "Shit, dude, you made Hemmet Nessingwary?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, I thought it would be a cool idea, and so I just put him in Stranglethorn, like he was gonna hunt stuff, and then like did all the pages and everything, and I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, that even in vanilla, that was pretty fun to like
Yeah.
couple that all together and do those quests and stuff. It was a nice little hub like of quests, and you spent a lot of time just like killing wildlife in the jungle. But I don't know, it was all right actually. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, at least we covered some WoW this time.
Yeah,
Fish.
probably more than last time, right? So
Yeah.
In 2 years' time, if you get me to be like your first ever third timer repeat guest,
Yeah.
maybe we can talk about WoW a little bit more as well.
Yeah. And now we
Great.
now that we've covered even more real life stuff. Now you can skip over that unless we forget about it and then accidentally talk about it again.
Yeah, maybe the next time we do this, it'll be like word for word the same time that we did this one.
Yeah.
That'd be really creepy. Wouldn't it?
Let's like make sure to message you around this time, just so it happens.
Yeah, good, great. Well, thank you for having me, Crendor, as usual. It was a pleasure. I like to fish with you a lot, actually. It's great.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy fishing with me, and I'm glad you enjoy just being on a show where all we do is stand in World of Warcraft and fish with sticks. And
I wish
talk
all
for an
shows
hour.
were like this, honestly. Like,
I know, right? I just
Nice.
I started the show because I would listen to interviews and people, it would be so structured, and people like, so I have this list of like 50 questions, we can't get to all of them, so what makes you feel this way? And they'd be like, blah blah blah, and then they just move on to the next question. I'm like, you didn't even follow up on anything. Like, it's just so I was like, you know what I want? I just want like two old men in a boat type of an atmosphere, just like, so what made you like this? Like cracks open a beer, and it's like, yeah, I see what you mean. I like that.
man. Well,
So-
I am an old man, so I hope I've done you proud.
You have done me proud, and yeah. So I'll see you in another 2 years.
See you then.
All right, see you then.
Bye.
See you.